Are you sick and tired of gambling your hard-earned money on Madden packs? Look no further than my sponsor, MMOEXP, for the cheapest and most reliable MUT coins on the market. And don't forget to use code Ferdy at checkout for 5% off. What's going on, guys? Today, of course, Saturday, so that means Legends, and today we're going to be talking about each card that came out today, if they're worth it, how good really are these cards. Before we get started, though, we have our shout-out of the day, and that goes to my man, Kai Doolittle, for commenting the emoji of the day on last video. And if you want a chance to be shouted out in the next one, let's comment the snake emoji. Comment the snake emoji. Let's get started here with Troy Polamalu. Troy Polamalu is a 5'10" safety, strong safety, 207, and you guys see it right here. He's got 90 man and 91 zone coverage. So where should you use Troy Polamalu? My thing with Polamalu is his size. And to me in this game, there's obviously value in height always in Madden, but this year more than ever on defensive back, height is important with how they animate and make interceptions. As far as those like over the head animations and things like that, I really do think that height is important on DBs, and that's kind of stating the obvious. But can you still use Troy Polamalu? Can this card still be viable? And obviously with his price tag, is he worth it? So Troy Polamalu, where I would use this card is probably over the top. I would say I would probably put him over the top. As far as a user goes, I like having a little bit more height as a user because you're able to jump higher, and opponents can't really put the ball over your head like that. So I like having height on my user. So if I were to use this card, I would either play him over the top or as a slot cornerback. This card can play slot corner. If you're someone that has a lot of blitzes off the edge, maybe you're having problems, in the run game, stopping the run. Troy Polamalu, putting him in the slot with good tackling stats. 88 hit power on a corner would actually be really good. It also does hit both the man and zone threshold, just like Charles Woodson does. So I would either use, like I said, Polamalu, the slot corner, or play him over the top at 5'10". As far as the abilities go, besides, I don't know if there's really any ability that I would say is like 100% worth it. Like you have to run it. I guess if you play him over the top, I would say if you have him playing deep blues, like in the middle, I would say deep in's good, because what you want on these shorter corners is KOs. That's why height didn't matter as much last year on corners, because first of all, you probably weren't picking the ball off anyway, even with pick artists last year. But if you had a KO, all the DBs basically played the same once you had a KO on them. And there was so much AP to go around. KOs are so cheap. So by the end of last year, height didn't matter on corners. So right now, I would say probably deep in. Or pick artist are the two abilities maybe I would go with if you're playing him in the box, maybe mid zone. But again, that's 3 AP, it's quite expensive. So I probably would say deep in or pick artist on Polamalu, depending on where you want to play him. But honestly, no abilities might just be the move. I don't know. There really is no. Maybe pick artist. I don't think he's gonna be really in many scenarios where pick artist is gonna light up because he is only 5'10". But does have good jumping. But that's what I would say with Troy Polamalu. And right now for his price tag at $750K, I would say he's not worth it. I think that's pretty obvious there. I would wait until he gets down to at least $500K. And right now these legends are a little bit more expensive because this is our first legend weekend with 89 overall. So the sets are a little bit different. But I would wait till at least $500K, maybe like $450 for Polamalu. Unless of course you have a Steelers theme team. Next up we'll do David DeCastro, offensive lineman. If this card does get down to quick sell, sure. I don't know if he will end up getting there. I do feel like EA did mess with the pack odds a little bit as far as these LTDs go. But unless he's quick sell, I wouldn't say touch an offensive lineman for that price tag. Unless you're like an overall merchant and all you want to do is have the best overall team. There's no reason why you should spend all this coin on this card, especially with 54 speed. I feel like speed is a very underrated stat on linemen. Yes, in the pass game it doesn't matter, but if you're running the ball through the tackles or really anywhere, your guard is actually one of the most important things. If you're running like inside zone, for example, you need your guard to make contact with their defensive tackle or end and then get to that second level as fast as possible. So to me, speed is a very, very underrated stat. However, the Steelers actually do have the fastest offensive lineman in the game right now on their theme team. So, they might already have that speed on the O-line, and you can kind of use DeCastro more as the pass blocker. But honestly, good stats across the board. And like I said, I would not touch this card unless he gets down to like 450 quick sell, because he's just not worth 700K or 800K on PlayStation. It's simple as that. There's no way around that. And finally, we have Walter Payton. Walter Payton, running backs in this game are quite thin. We really only have, I'm not even gonna, I guess Najee's okay. I will consider Najee like he's in the game. Najee's decent, and I don't even know why would they add Okay, he apparently gets +1 mid route running. Obviously, that's not going to do anything for him. It also gives him +1 run block finesse, and then a +1 juke move. So, yeah, Walter compared to the other RBs in this game, really the only two that he's close to is Swift and Bo Jackson. So let's take a look at DeAndre Swift. DeAndre Swift has 75 catching with 75 short route running, but 88 speed, good acceleration, and obviously DeAndre Swift's more of an elusive back, low strength, low truck, but he is 5'8", 211, so he's shorter than Walter Payton, but also outweighs him by 11 pounds, which I definitely felt on Walter or on DeAndre Swift, his ability to kind of fall forward and feel super solid, but also with that jukebox, be able to kind of skip jukes very well and make guys miss very easily. So I do like DeAndre Swift for that reason. And then Bo Jackson. Bo to me is still the best of all worlds. Bo still is going to have those pretty nasty wide open drops because of that 64 catching. But he does still get RB Apprentice, Freight Train, or sorry, not Freight Train, RB Apprentice, Jukebox, as well as Bulldozer. So no matter what your scheme is, no matter how you like playing this game, you know, you can use him however you want. And yeah, like I said, Bo does drop passes. But that's just because of his catching rating, not because of his traits. But yeah, I would say, you know, Jukebox on Bo, RB Apprentice is probably the two best ways to go. And yeah, and you know, Walter Payton does get both his abilities. Walter Payton does get Jukebox and RB Apprentice, but he doesn't have as much power as Bo Jackson. However, he does have +1 speed. The acceleration I did definitely feel in today's gameplay, which is, by the way, already up on the channel. But everything else felt good. I actually did use this card without Jukebox. I did use him with Human Joystick. He's our first and only Human Joystick in the game right now. Also, our first and only Evasive in the game right now as well. So he's the first of both for these abilities. But yeah, is he worth it? Is he worth it? If you have Bo Jackson, keep Bo Jackson. Both Bo Jackson and DeAndre Swift are not, you know, I don't even know what did Swift's price get down to. Swift's 580 right now. Yeah, Swift is not 300K better than Bo Jackson. Bo Jackson, for his value, unfortunately is still the best. I know a lot of us are very sick of using and seeing Bo Jackson in this game because he came out August 31st and we're almost into October now. But he is just still RB1 in my opinion for his value. Even without the value, Bo is probably still better than Walter because he does have that extra power in his game. However, if you do like the smaller backs, I mean, Swift and Walter are options for you. I'm liking how we're getting more options at running back. It felt like he just kind of forgot about running backs for a good month there because they literally did it. They literally did. I mean, they literally did. So, yeah, is Walter worth it? If you have a Bears team, yes, go get him. Wait till his price gets down to maybe, he'll probably get down to like high 600s, like 680. He'll probably get down to that price as time goes on throughout the day and tomorrow. But outside of a Bears team, is Walter worth it? Is this card a must-have? No, and I don't think there's actually any must-haves from this promo unless DeCastro gets down to quick sell. If DeCastro's quick sell, I would say he might be a must-have because offensive lineman upgrades come few and far between, and being able to get one that won't lose value and just kind of set him and use him. I mean, if you get DeCastro right now for rental price, I mean, you could probably keep him until zero chill. That's how long linemen last. However, I just don't like his speed. That's the one problem with DeCastro. And he's like the only like fringe must-have. Outside of that, I do not believe there is any. So, yeah. If you are new here, hit that subscribe button, turn on those notifications. We have I Rate Your Teams tomorrow. If you didn't miss the Walter Payton gameplay, it's already up on the channel. And as always, I'll see you boys in the next one.